Hi, thanks for tuning in. In last Sunday's message entitled Spreading the Truth in Love, Pastor Frank said that the greatest enemy to spreading the truth in love is an unexamined life. And by the way, if you didn't watch that sermon, go to Bethel.org. You owe it to yourself to see it in its entirety. So if you think about it, what deserves more scrutiny than the life God has given us? Now, we may be eternal beings, but we have one go-round here on earth. And in that life moves so quickly. I mean, think about it. We are almost 3/4 of the way through 2020. We need to constantly examine ourselves. I have often said that the most effective Christians are the ones who can be introspective without being neurotic. Well, what's effective introspection? Well, it's walking out of a movie theater and thinking, a year ago, I would have never sat through that movie. What about me has changed to the point that sitting through that movie was okay? And what's neurosis? It's when you tell yourself you won't leave your house until God tells you which shoes to wear. WebMD defines a neurotic personality as one that, quote, has little natural buffer against stress. You see everyday situations far worse than they really are, and then blame yourself for your extreme pessimism and negativity, unquote. So where do we find the balance between introspection and neurosis? Well, we remember that though we are weak and fallible human beings, God is all-powerful. We remember that all-powerful God yearns to make himself known to us and help us in our daily lives. We remember that there is such a thing as absolute truth, and that truth is in the person of Jesus Christ. We need to be students of the Word. At one time, my son-in-law was in Army Special Forces. I gifted him a Bible. On the inside cover, I wrote the following, quote, "You would never play on a professional football team without knowing their playbook. The Bible is the playbook for life," unquote. The Bible is full of ways to help us with healthy introspection about our relationship with Jesus. We need to put those truths of God's Word deep within our hearts. Pastor Frank reminded us that we need to, quote, spread the truth in love, unquote. And the best way to do that is from the position of having that very truth permeate our lives. Some years ago, we were throwing away a bunch of stuff, so I ordered a dumpster to be dropped off in our driveway. The gentleman showed up, backed it in, and dropped it perfectly. When he got out of the truck, something caught my attention. As he walked toward me, I asked him, "Are you a Christian?" He looked somewhat surprised and answered, "Why, yes, I am. What made you ask?" I replied, "The moment you looked at me, your countenance had Jesus all over it." May you and I live our lives in such a way that our very appearance will project the absolute truth of Jesus. And may we share that truth in love. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.